When many people in Europe think about Africa, certain images often come to mind: wildlife, poverty, conflict, charity campaigns. But here's the reality. That version of Africa is incomplete. Because beyond the headlines, beyond the documentaries, beyond the stereotypes, there is another Africa rising, and most people have never seen it. The Africa you're not shown. Turn on the evening news, and Africa usually appears during crisis. A famine, a coup, a disaster. But what rarely makes international headlines is this. Africa has some of the fastest growing cities in the world. Lagos, Nairobi, Kigali, Accra. Skylines are expanding. Tech hubs are multiplying. Entire industries are being built by young entrepreneurs. Africa has the youngest population on Earth. More than 60% of its population is under 25. That's not a weakness. That's demographic power. While much of Europe faces aging populations and shrinking workforces, Africa is entering its most energetic generation. And that changes everything. Innovation. You didn't expect. Many Europeans are surprised to learn that Africa leads in certain areas of financial technology. Kenya, mobile banking systems transformed how people send and receive money long before some European countries fully embraced digital payment ecosystems. In Rwanda, drone networks have delivered medical supplies to rural hospitals. In Nigeria, tech startups are attracting global investment. This isn't a continent waiting to develop. It's a continent building its own solutions, often out of necessity. And sometimes, those solutions are ahead of the curve. The urban shift. Africa is urbanizing rapidly. New infrastructure projects are reshaping transportation, energy, and communication systems. There are modem universities producing engineers, doctors, software developers. There are filmmakers telling African stories to global audiences. There are fashion designers influencing global trends. Yet much of this doesn't fit the outdated narrative many people grew up with. And so it goes unnoticed. The economic reality. Africa is not one country. It's 54 nations, over 1.4 billion people, thousands of languages, hundreds of cultures. Some economies struggle, others are expanding rapidly. There are challenges: corruption, inequality, political instability in some regions. But there is also growth, resilience, and ambition. The full story is complex, and complexity doesn't always make headlines. The bigger picture. For centuries, Africa was portrayed through a narrow lens, often shaped by colonial history, foreign reporting, or humanitarian campaigns. Those stories focused on what was missing, but rarely on what was being built. Modern Africa is not defined by a single narrative. It is home to global CEOs, artists, engineers, athletes, and innovators. It is building renewable energy projects. It is expanding digital economies. It is shaping global culture in music, film, and fashion. The story is still being written. The perspective shift. So what do many Europeans not know about Modem Africa? That it is not frozen in time. That it is not one story. That it is not waiting to be saved. It is evolving, competing, creating. And perhaps the real question isn't what Africa lacks, but how much of its progress the world has simply failed to notice. Because once you look beyond the old images, you begin to see something different. Not a continent defined by its past, but one shaping its future. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.